So here we go. I don't know if this will lash up. I have forgotten, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, forgotten, misremembered. No, forgotten, just forgotten. Misremembered is when you think you know something, but it's wrong from your memory. But it has been a while since, quite a while actually, since we've gone for a ride, and I've done the full lash up here and doing it and checking it right now to see if it's all working. I have forgotten various bits and pieces to get into the whole riding suit to go. So I'm late taking off as per usual, but let's just see if this is working now. Okay, the camera says we are recording. I get this little red flash that I can see. And the motorcycle says it's running. Is my jacket responding? Not sure about that, actually. Sorry, got to show you me putting on my gloves again. I know that's such an exciting part of every ride, but has to be done. We are, ladies and gentlemen, about to go for a ride, and it's the first ride in a bit of time. So bear with me. This will be an old guy's introductory ride after some time off the machine. Anybody coming up? I may have mentioned before that our my driveway exit is a little hairy. It's pretty steeply, oh, big dragonfly almost flew into my helmet. It's pretty steeply banked downhill, and there are cars that have to come over to my side of the street to make kind of a left turn into a neighboring street, a street that tees more or less off into ours. So it's a little interesting, and you need to get your subtlety back on the controls. Always use the rear brake, of course, as you're coming up to those situations. Downhill with the front brake only is always pretty exciting. You can project yourself right over the handlebars. And got to be aware of that. So I am coming back, ladies and gentlemen. I am coming back. I've had 2 healthy checks based upon my previous cancer condition. You got to watch out because there's a speed camera here, and it tells me that, and I have been doing almost every other thing that I did before, but very little motorcycle riding because of several factors. One is you just kind of get out of use of doing it. Oh, come on. Well, now this thing won't acknowledge me. What if I go back a ways? Anybody behind me? No. What if I go back a ways? Maybe I'm just too far from the sensor. Gosh darn, do I hate that sensor. Oh, somebody's right behind me. Come on. There it goes. Car behind me. Censoring the sensor. I like to avoid those tire stakes. So you're going to get the full benefit of whatever happens during this ride. I don't know if there's any benefit involved, to be quite honest. It's a hot day in SoCal, beautiful suburban San Diego, California. From more or less Wistful Vistas, back on the road again with yours truly, Gary Cooper, the people's friend. Now let's see if I'm going to trigger the lights here. Oh, looks like I have. Or is that the car behind me? Could be. That car is still with me. And we are going out. Gonna close the face mask. I'm wearing my Shoei X14. We call it an X14 in the US. And I forget what it's called in international markets, but I happen to have used that lash up quite a bit for a few years, and I know it works. And I tried a newer helmet a while back. Get a little third gear action here. And I had various issues, and I can't resolve them as being the camera, microphone, Media Mod Pro, etc., etc. So I'm going back to something that worked, and I tried it in the driveway and it seemed to work okay. So we're going with that, and hopefully it'll work, and I'll be able to share this with everybody. And I intend that in every sense of the word. Share. Sharing the ride. First time out for quite a while. Now, traffic is pretty crazy around Wistful Vistas at the moment. I have to adjust my mirror. Due to two facts. We have a, have a big, fudge. I'll have to do it at a stop sign. We had a big, wonderful to watch youth soccer tournament going on, football to all you international people, and coupled with our San Diego County Fair. And that makes the traffic down some of my usual routes very crazy. And when you're just getting back on the motorcycle, what sort of happens is you lose a little bit of self-confidence, and you think that every other car on the road is out to kill you, and you get very tentative. And that doesn't make for healthy riding at all. So you need to find that balance between awareness and just the casual approach to riding overall, and that's what I'll be seeking out. Now, this is my second attempt to start out in all that vein. Ooh, sounds so good. As I say, second attempt to start out in all that vein, and it's been, probably a month since I took a ride. Oh dear. But and in between that time, we've been hopping around like a frog on a hot skillet. I'll actually put that down. That was one of my ancestors' favorite comments when someone was very busy and just moving around and everything like that. And we've been to Europe, not quite to Ashley Johnson's middle of nowhere UK, but I think we actually got fairly close, because we were in Wales, in this little port city, and the population to me looked like it was about 750 on Sunday. So not a lot of people there, but also not quite in the middle of nowhere, Ashley. But it included that with jaunts to Spain, and I was not too far from Circuito de Catalunya, which I would really have loved to have seen, but time didn't permit. But it gave me a bit of time to practice my very amateurish Spanish on unsuspecting people we met up with. So sorry. Lo siento por los gentes de los gentes de España por mi pobre, or español pobre. But back to the riding episode here. We're going to narrate this one all the way through. You can hear that lovely Akrapovich going in the background, which is a mod I had done during my illness and my awayness. And I did that because I wanted to stay somehow connected to the world of two wheels and this motorcycle. So I'm happy to say that I did that, and it's been a nice experience, and I really love it. It really harkens me back to my 2017 Aprilia. So far feeling okay, a little tentative come up to stop signs and things like that. But I think that's sort of to be expected. You get that. Now, I just shifted into neutral coming up to the stop sign because of two reasons. One, it's easy to get into neutral as you're rolling along with a little momentum on the gearbox, and number two, it's kind of been my habit to stay in neutral. A motorcycle vlogger that I greatly respect, Roadcraft Nottingham, says that's not good. You should keep it in first gear. Oh, well, thank you, sir. You just go right ahead. You should keep it in first gear because that allows you, if you see somebody coming up behind you to do mischief or mayhem, to get away, pop the clutch and just fall off the bike if you have to, but get out of the way. And two, you don't have a long wait as you're fumbling for gears, and the car behind you, which is undoubtedly an automatic, drops into gear and runs up your backside. And he does have a point. He does have a point. But I've also stalled it, keeping it in a gear at a stop sign. And I don't know. Give me your opinion. Anyway, back to motorcycle riding and things related to all that. I want to say that I have a lot of people that I really could give a shout out to on this ride. It's been a while, and I've had the acquaintance of a lot of people, a lot of friends and family who've either done some really wonderful, daring things on their own or have faced health crises and things like that. One person I want to mention is Michelle Goldhammer, going through a health crisis right now, and Max and I love this lady so much, and she's such an athlete, and we just want nothing but the best for her. So here I'm stopped in first gear. I'm facing uphill. I'm going to open up my mask here. It's hot. And Michelle, good luck to you. She's recovering really well. She had a recent recuperative thing. The other person I want to shout out to is my grandson, Julian Edwards. I call him Julio. I revel in that. And Julio is in his first real sports competition at the ripe old age of 12, and it's exciting for me to stay tuned to that. And he's going through it with the same level of frustration and hope and joy and success that we all do when we get into those things. So shout out to Julio. I want to shout out to a gentleman named Zhukov. A fella, I don't know what country Zhukov is in, but I know it's not the U.S. And he has corresponded with me a couple of times and been very complimentary, and has said a couple of things that I found quite nice, and therefore, hey dude, hang in there, you're going to be fine, it's all good. And looking at this world around me, gosh darn, rather be here than someplace else, someplace I don't know what's like on the other side. And I spend a little time fighting to stay here, so hang in there. All right, let's get on to, and there are other people, so please don't feel shorted if I don't mention your name. So there are other people that could be mentioned in this quick rider's vlog, such as Holly Balterra, who just lost her father, and Catalina Spaid, Cat Spaid, good friend of my, good wife of my friend, good friend of ours, whether she's a wife or not. And she just recently also lost her father, who was evidently quite a guy. I'm going to give these people some time to get by because, as I said, I'm just getting back into it here, so a little scared. That's the right word to put for it, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So shouts out to all those people. God bless you. And okay, to the riding. What's it like riding after months off and getting back onto this magnificent machine that I hope to start putting miles on? Really, really nice. With some exceptions. I'm riding a little more defensively than I should, and a little quieter than I should. But kids, I gotta tell you, I'm just happy and exultant to be back out here and to be able to share it with you. What do I think of the machine still? Well, when I was getting it set up to go out after a long time out today, I was checking the tires for air, and again, I was really appreciative of the fact that at least this year and classification of Aprilia, the Tuono 1100 factory, has 90-degree valve stems, and that allows you to very easily get the air pressure nozzle onto the tires. And I'd say it's the little things that count. The other thing I'm on is that I'm reminded it's fairly stiffly sprung, and our streets of San Diego are not the smoothest bestest, and I probably need to slow down the reband damping even a little further. Now, when Albe of Albe's Adventures was out and he test rode this machine, he came out on his Africa Twin. Again, hey, shout out to Albe. He said we went over a bump. There was a bump on a little rural road that we were going over, and he's a triple times better rider than I am, and it almost bucked him out of the darn seat. I saw the rear end come up, and he said, "Whoa, dude, you got to slow down the rebound damping on that." It just almost shot me out of the seat. And he was right then, and I suspect it's still a little too quick on the rebound. The performance over the bumps itself is nice. It's smooth enough, but it just wants to come back a little too quickly. So here we go. There's one. So I'll need to check into that. What do I intend to do going forward? I intend to try and get out and ride, get back into the groove of things. This is a short ride. If we cover 15 miles on this, I'll be surprised. 10 miles, whatever it is. And get back into the groove of things, work on my motorcycle rider mentality and habits. And secondarily, start doing some more mods to the machine and sharing that out with people and doing some garage vlogs and that sort of thing. I don't excuse me. I may have to cut that out. I think I inhaled a hair from the dead cat on the mic. Anyhow, what I was going to say, I think I need to kind of slip back into the groove, because there's some things that I'm still not entirely there with yet, and that I can do and will do. Getting used to the performance of this machine. So smooth, like butter, like I said when I picked this little deer up. And stay with y'all. We're going to come up to the southern gate of Santa Luz, Wistful Vistas here. And you may be disappointed in the ride. I'm sorry if you are. But this is kind of a catch-up. Not in the type of sauce you put on a hamburger, but C-A-T-C-H-U-P, catch up on what's going on with me and how it's all going. And I would say to everybody, all and sunder, it's actually going pretty well. All right, coming up to my turnoff here. Not going to prolong this. Again, I've got to get used to. The good thing about riding around San Diego is you get a lot of elevation changes and things that you can work with. Let's see, will you stay up? Do you see me? Yes, you do. Howdy. And that gives you good training for the controls. We've got lots of hills to play around on. Got to be aware now that I'm a little louder for my neighbors, and I'm in a pretty quiet neighborhood. My next door neighbor has a young daughter that practices on the piano, which I love. And as much as I like to think of this as a symphony of its own type, I don't think it mixes well with her piano lessons. So, got to be aware of that. Be a good neighbor, boys and girls, if you are a motorcycle rider, because we already have a bad enough reputation. But it's been great to be back out after such a long time off. I can't tell you how happy I am. I sure hope the audio for this turns out all right. I don't know. I never know, because I do sort of a stream of consciousness thing, but I don't know if it'll turn out. Never know if it'll turn out. I don't even know if I'll like what I've been saying, but it's all from the heart. Now we come down my street, very steep street, and I hope you can see what I mean. One thing about the GoPros, they're such great cameras, but they don't necessarily put declines and inclines in perspective, so you can see how they work out. Nice thing about it is it puts us on the side of, here's my driveway coming up on the right, is it does put us on the side of a ravine out back, gully, valley, whatever you call it. The Spanish word for it is a lazanja, which we found out. I did not know what that Spanish word meant. Spanish-speaking friends chime in. Lazanja, L-A-Z-A-N-J-A. An English speaker will look at that word and pronounce it as lasagna, but it's actually lazanja. Anyway, we are back. Bike's running great. I'm pretty happy with how I did too. Let's see what I mean about getting neutral at a stop. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah. There we got it. There we got it. And take care. Looking back out there, all will be well as it can be. Talk to you all later. Okay, I'm trying to turn off the recording. Can't do it. I did put these things on these gloves. Hey, let's walk out to the end here. Can a vlog be too long? Nah. Yes, it can. Is this getting boring? Yeah, well, might be. I've got to check on my air jacket, by the way, because I'm not getting the familiar beeps, creeps, and zeeps that I get. I may have to find out why not. Not sure it's functioning. But there it is, the magnificent machine. Here I am, the not so magnificent machine. And let's see if this tap-on thing I put on my finger here will shut off the recording. Hey, talk about a hot seat. Woohoo! It's warm. Just got off it. Welcome to the Man Cave in Wistful Vista, beautiful suburban San Diego, California. Just a little north. Referred to as North County. It's a hot day, hence the hot motorcycle. It's about 80 some odd degrees out there. High 30s, low 40s for you centigrade guys. I'll post that someplace. Here, let me do this. I'll post that someplace. Just a quick intro video here. I did one on the bike. I don't know if it's going to turn out. I never do until I get back. And I'm back riding. I am back riding. I'm going to be riding more, doing some more stuff with this machine. It felt comfortable enough. I was kind of worried about how my reactions would be, how I'd feel. Felt comfortable enough. Still not quite there though. And you riders will know what I mean. You've got to ride as if it's just natural, everything's second nature. And with awareness, but not fear that the next car you see is going to take you down. And there's a twilight zone in there where it's good
And there's a twilight in there where it's bad, where you actually become more dangerous than you ought to be and not particularly a good rider. But this machine works to really restore your confidence. Got so much torque, you don't really have to twist the throttle all that much. And riding on two wheels is very invigorating and, dare I say, therapeutic. So, hope to see you in more vlogs in the future. Questions, comments down below. I love corresponding with people who watch these, those that do. And we'll be back to you, hopefully soon, with some more fun stuff. And, wow, this thing, although it was running plenty cool and in the zone, it's hot. Cheers.